Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Amal Suhail and my roll number is 21PE04. Today I'll be implementing Lab 12 of Digital Signal Processing, which is about infinite impulse response filters. Task 1 of the DSP Lab 12 is given the DSP system with initial conditions and input signal, compute the system response for 20 samples using MATLAB. Let us see the MATLAB code for it. This MATLAB code computes this response y of a discrete system to an input signal x over 20 samples. The input x is a decaying exponential starting from third sample. The system response y is calculated using a difference equation with given coefficients. The code then plots the input signal and system response. The output plot shows the exponential input signal and the system's corresponding response, illustrating how the system processes the input. The next task is given a transfer function depicting a DSP system, determine the impulse response, step response, and system response of the input signal is x of n, 0.25 power n, u of n. The MATLAB code for it is this MATLAB code calculates and plots the impulse response, step response, and system response of discrete time system defined by its transfer function with numerator 1, 1 and denominator 1 and minus 0.5. The imp z function computes the impulse response and cum-sum function calculates the step response. An input signal x of n is a decaying exponential is defined and its response through the system is obtained using convolution with the impulse response. The results are displayed. Here we can run the code and observe the output. Here we can see the results are displayed in three subplots: the impulse response, the step response, and the system response to the input signal, visually illustrating the system's behavior in the time domain. Now the next task is given the digital transfer function, plot poles and zeros, use frequency z to find and plot frequency response. The MATLAB code is code is defined when numerator and denominator coefficients, z plane for the pole 0 plot and frequency z function for the frequency response plot. Let us run the code to observe the output. In this figure we can see the pole 0 plot. Here we can see the poles are inside the unit circle, so the system will be stable. And this represents the frequency response and phase response of the specified transfer function. Then comes task 4. The following transfer functions describe digital systems. For each, test the z-plane pole 0 plot and determine the stability status for the digital system. The MATLAB code for this task will be provided here. The numerator and the denominator coefficients for the transfer function are defined for the three transfer functions provided in the task 4, and then the z plot for the different transfer functions is plotted in the figure. Here we can observe the four subplots that represents poles and zeros placing of the transfer function. All the subplots, all the plotting of all the transfer functions are unstable because the poles lie outside the unit circle. Task 5 is given a digital system with a sampling rate of 8000 Hz, determine the frequency response. The MATLAB code for this will be this code computes and plots frequency response of a discrete time system characterized by transfer function coefficients b and a. Using the frequency z function, it calculates frequency response at 1024 points over a sampling frequency of 8000 Hz. The magnitude response in dB and the phase response in degrees are then plotted. The magnitude response plot shows how the amplitude of the system's output varies with frequency, while the phase response plot, which uses the unwrap function to avoid phase discontinuities, shows how the phase of the system's output changes with frequency. The resulting plots provide a comprehensive view of the system's behavior in the frequency domain. Then comes the task 6. which is about plotting the poles and zeros on the z-plane. Use the MATLAB function frequency z to plot the magnitude, frequency response, and phase response for each transfer function, and then identify corresponding filter type: low pass, high pass, band pass, or band stop. Let us see the MATLAB code for it. By running the code, this code computes and plots frequency responses for 4 different digital filters. Each case represents a different filter characterized by specified numerator and denominator coefficients. For each case, the frequency z function is used to compute the frequency response h over 1024 points. The magnitude and phase responses are then plotted in 2 subplots for each filter. The magnitude response shows how the filter's output amplitude varies with frequency, and phase shows unwrapping the phase angles and converting them to degrees. Here we can see the different magnitude and phase responses for the different filters. For example, this filter represents the low pass filter because it retains the low frequencies and removes the higher frequencies. Then coming towards the task 7. It is about for the following feedback filters, determine the locations of the poles and zeros and plot the positions in z-plane. Let us see the code for it. Here, different numerator and denominator coefficients for the transfer function is provided, and we'll observe the pole 0 plot for it. Here we can see that poles lie outside the unit circle, which means the system will be unstable. And in this filter type also there are poles outside the unit circle, representing the instability of the system, whereas zeros does not contribute to the stability of the system. Then comes the next task. It is also about plotting the poles and zeros of the transfer functions. Here we can see the plot which represents 2 poles lie exactly on the unit circle, which means that the system will become unstable. If a single pole lie on the circumference of the unit circle, the system will be marginally stable. Task 9 will be, here it is about plotting a filter type. Maybe it is a high pass, band pass filter. Let us see the code for it. Here we can see that the high pass and the band pass filters are plotted. The high pass filter represents the absolute filter. The upper subplot represents the high pass filter with an absolute filter gain, whereas the lower subplot represents the band pass filter with an absolute filter gain, providing the coefficients of the transfer function. Then comes task 10. By running the code, it is about low pass to low pass prototype transformation, which involves bilinear transformation. Frequency z function is used, and unwrapped signal is used for the phase response, whereas frequency z function is used for finding the magnitude response of the filter. Now the task 11 is about plotting the low pass to low pass transformation filter, whereas the bilinear transformation function is used and the results are generated. The output plot represents the magnitude and phase response for the corresponding filter output. Similarly, for this low pass to high pass transformation, the magnitude and phase responses for the certified filter coefficients are provided. For the task 13, it is also similar to the previous one, but it is the low pass to low pass prototype transformation. As we know that the low pass is an ideal filter, and we can generate different filters to the low pass filter, and by using the different steps of the Butterworth or the Chebyshev filters, we can generate the outputs for the system. The magnitude and phase response for the specified low pass to low pass filter is provided in the figure. Then comes the task 14 of lab 12. which represents low pass to high pass prototype transformation with different filter coefficients, and the bilinear transformation is applied, and frequency z function is used to represent the magnitude plot. Here we can observe the magnitude and phase response. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.